Interesting. Okay, well, it's about a 30-second delay, so as it's going live. Good afternoon and welcome to a hair-raising Friday afternoon live stream. I am Becky. I am joined today by James from Transcontinental.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Tell me, we are doing a peak design stream, but why Transcontinental, just so our viewers know?
So, yeah, thank you, Becky. So I work for Transcontinental in the UK, and we're a distributor of photographic products. I specialise in peak design. So I've bought a range of their products here today to show you and talk to you about.
So we're going to have a look at that. We're also going to talk to you about some of the stuff that you've got. I've seen already there are some peak design users in the chat. Before we get started, competitions are very confusing this week, so I'm going to get them all out of the way. So at the end of the stream, I will draw the potato competition winners. Not winning a potato. We don't give away potatoes on the stream, just so you know. That's the Nikon Cap prize for last week's stream, and your code was potato. This week, we have been very kindly given, James has brought us a Peak Design leash, which we're going to give away on this week's stream. We're not going to do a live giveaway. That gives more people a chance to enter. So in the comments below, not the live chat, but in the comments below, if you're not watching this live or after the fact, if you just put something, any sentence, and as long as it has Peak Design, you have to make it all one word, because we can only do a key word when we're selecting. So Peak Design, no space in the middle. You can say whatever you like about them. Then you will be automatically entered into the giveaway, which we will draw. If it's not next week, because next week is Photo London, then it will be the week after. But basically, it's on this video. So then you can win one of those. We are also doing something for Photo London on Instagram. So watch this space. If you don't follow us on Instagram, it's Nikon at Grays, like the @ symbol, then Nikon at Grays, the word at Grays. All the links are going to be in the description box. So Dixon asked why not give away potatoes. We can, but from my experience, like the people that enter often win in very far-reaching countries, and I don't think we're allowed to send potatoes in the post.
Yeah.
Might not be very nice by the time. Might be a bit of a squishy potato.
Green or something. Yeah.
So no potatoes, but a Nikon Cap for last week's prize, a leash for next week's prize, and then do follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, so that you can see what the giveaway for Photo London is going to be, which will be up a little bit later today.
That's actually my favourite strap, Becky.
Is it?
Yeah, I like the leash.
I like the fact that, you know, when you handed us a couple of these boxes, Con, who's not here this week, as you've noticed, he kind of ripped open the whole packaging.
He did,
and I was actually, you can just do this and you can just open
really well presented, isn't it?
Like, look, you can move a little bit. I'm going to move your mic a little bit closer as well, because I'm very emphatic and loud. So is this the skinniest strap?
This is, so this is the smallest and lightest strap from Peak Design.
Looks like that.
They have the slide light, the leash and the cuff.
Yeah.
They also have the clutch as well, but the leash is the one, it's my go-to.
Because
it packs down to the smallest size. The best thing about Peak Design straps, as I'm sure a lot of your viewers will know, is that they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
So you can use what they call their anchor links, and these attach to any camera, binoculars, or anything really that camera-wise that you want to keep close to you on a strap.
So a lot of you have got these. I'm actually I think our last video from the Big Cat Sanctuary, I was using a Peak Design strap, and those little anchors, they go on everything. Very, very handy.
They're very useful, yeah. And you know, in recent years, you see, you know, vloggers and influencers and people using their cameras, and you often see these little round discs on the side of their cameras, and people think, well, what is that?
Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Now you know.
So that's a Peak Design anchor link. And I say that's universal with all their straps. So I'll show you in a little while how they work.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
When I first saw these, I noticed someone, I can't remember, I'm going to find the comment now. Was it Steve? Was it Steve? Was it Colin? Yeah, it was Steve. So I remember when they did their Kickstarter campaign, because Constantine actually...
He backed the messenger bag, I think?
Yes, and then he ended up with a backpack, and then... anyway, it progressed from there. But I remember when he got the first system, I don't know if he got a clip or something similar, and it had there were some of these, and I was like,
what is that?
What is that? And how does that hold your camera?
I will explain. Yeah. I think first of all, I want to thank you for letting me come here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'll be doing it on my own, otherwise. It'll be a very lonely stream.
I'm really keen to find out and understand what bags and carrying solutions your viewers use.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, maybe spark a conversation about why people use certain bags or certain straps.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I personally think there's never one bag that fits every use. Is there? If you've got particularly, several lenses, multiple cameras, Peak Design do quite a few different bags.
Yeah.
I bought some today that we'll talk about.
Some samples.
But yeah, really keen to understand what bags your viewers are using.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why they're using them as well.
So I know, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we did a stream on just general accessories. And I had my product placed Billingham, and that's because I use that bag all the time. Yeah. And we had a few Billingham users. We had a few Peak Design users in there, a couple of low pro. I think Colin says, I'm a low pro man myself. I find they serve me well for my needs. In fact, I find them near bulletproof. And I think when I first started working at the shop many, many years ago, we were just phasing out low pro and we moved over to Think Tank, which was a very kind of standard, working photographer bag. But I generally find that actually it takes almost longer to pick the bag than it does to pick the camera.
Yeah. It's a very personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, like we say, if you've got a couple of cameras, you've got a couple of lenses, you might be going on holiday, you might need all your kit, you might need just half your kit or whatever. If you're doing street photography, a messenger bag's more useful perhaps, or a sling. Yeah, it's good to have a choice, and I think it's good to have a lot of bags.
Yeah. Photographers don't have a problem with the number of camera bags that we own, I don't think. I mean, my goodness, I have more camera bags than I think I will ever use. You're never going to use them all in one trip, let's put it that way. But the reason why I thought it would be great to have you on and to show the products to everyone is really just because they're so well thought out. I think everything has an idea behind it, and they were made by photographers.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They're made with a purpose, and they're made with almost you could say there's other brands out there where a product might be made to a given price point, and I don't think that's the case with Peak. They start from the ground up. Everything they make is bespoke. It's by them. There's a lot of thought that goes into every product. Every product they make also has a lifetime warranty. No matter whether it's a strap, the anchor links, the tripod, which we'll come on to as well, all has that lifetime warranty. There's a lot of things that Peak do as well, perhaps behind the scenes, which maybe some of your viewers might not be aware of, which I'll enlighten you with today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I agree. I've got other bags, and I don't tell my employers this, but I've got other bags which aren't Peak Design. And I think, it's important to have multiple bags. It's important to have, I think people say the best camera is the one that you have with you, right?
Exactly.
And you've got to have the right bag for the camera at the right time, I guess.
That's very true. Yeah. I've got a few here that we were sent over the last couple of weeks to have a look at. You've brought. Have you got? Is it this one?
So that's our sort of flagship you've got there. Yeah. So this is our 20-litre backpack, everyday backpack.
Okay.
So
I'm going to try and find a way.
Can we squeeze it in?
On there, I can squeeze that in. I think. There we go.
Great.
Gives everyone an idea of what we're talking about.
This is really what kicked things off for Peak a number of years ago. They were on the second generation of backpacks, or V2 we like to call them.
Yeah.
So this is a V2 everyday litre, and this is a 20-litre backpack. Yeah. They also make the same bag in 30 litres, and it's available in a range of colours. So we've got charcoal colourway here.
I like this one.
I quite like this one. This is the most popular colour. We also have it available in black, ash, which is like a light grey.
Have you got that one?
I do. Yeah,
I think that's the only one that I don't.
My personal one.
There we go. Ah.
So there we are.
So yeah, they are nice.
I will continue to use your one there though, Becky, as a sample.
It's not got anything in it.
It's got nothing. Yeah, it's quite light. Mine's got a few bits in it.
Yeah,
so, sure. So available in 20 and 30 litres. So this is the flagship. So there's bags which are sit underneath this one.
Yeah.
But this is known for having what they call their mag latch opening at the top. So this is their patented design, where you can actually expand the capacity of the bag. It can go from 20 to 23 litres.
Right.
And obviously you can, it's a bit like having a roll top, but with a bit more security there. So yeah, you can put maybe a pack down rain mac and bits and pieces on the top and expand the storage. So quite versatile. All the V2 everyday bags have a 3 sort of opening sort of system. So you've got, you unzip that there.
So you can get your cameras out of there. And then you can also see on the camera how deep they are. Because I think you mentioned to me that this was more of a kind of mirrorless size.
This one is, perhaps. I mean,
you can fit anything in there.
You can.
You could.
So they're very versatile.
Yeah.
All the version 2 bags come with what they call flex fold dividers.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take one of these out and let's talk about this for a second.
Yes, very exciting, a divider.
There's lots of factors that Peak Design bags have and things about them which make them different from other bags out there. And this is, I guess, probably the first factor we can touch on.
Yeah, sure.
So this is inspired by origami. You can see there's lots of sort of different folds. And obviously these sit inside the bag. They've got the 2 Velcro sort of seats either side, at the front and the back. But we can actually make shelves and pass-through compartments inside the bag. I'll show you that in a moment. But you could see here, you could perhaps have a smaller pancake lens, or you could even fold them both up. And you can have a pass-through to fit maybe a 70 to 200 mil 2.8 or something down the side of the lens.
Oh, that's very clever.
So these, despite being small, lightweight, they've still got quite a bit of padding on there as well.
Yeah.
And obviously very, very, I guess that makes the bag quite versatile in that you can customise it to whatever camera, whatever lens you're using.
Yeah.
So you get 3 in these. They're present in all the version 2 bags, not just the backpacks, but the sling bags and messengers as well. We'll come on to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lovely.
They can be taken out and they can be completely rearranged as how you like it.
In all kinds of different configurations.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Matt asks, do Peak Design do a roller trolley bag? I haven't seen one.
No, they don't.
No?
No. So they have their everyday line, which is part of this, and their version 2 backpacks. They have a travel line range, which currently has a 45-litre backpack and some duffel bags. So they're their larger bags designed to, you know, if somebody's travelling with their gear but still wants space for clothes and shoes and wash bags, then but no roller bags yet.
No. It's interesting. Kevin says, I really like Porter Brace bags. I've not heard of that brand before. I've
heard of the brand.
Kevin's in Australia.
Okay.
Oh no, hang on. In the US. Kevin, where are you? I've forgotten. In the US. You're in the US. That's right. So it might be a US brand. Although Peak Design were made in the US.
That's right. Yeah. To give you a bit of background, Peak Design was the brainchild from a chap called Peter Daring. He is the, I guess, managing director or owner of Peak Design.
Right.
He's still in the business today. It's a privately owned company.
Yeah.
Been lucky enough to meet him a couple of years ago, and just speaking to him about the products was fascinating.
Yeah.
He's a photographer. He uses the gear, as do all the guys at Peak Design. And you can tell a lot of thought goes into how and why they make things, and they're always changing things as well.
Yeah.
So to give you a bit of background, almost all their products are launched on Kickstarter.
Yes.
So
I noticed that.
Yeah. So Kickstarter is a great way for a company to fund their product or brand or whatever. And Peak Design have been using that since 2011.
Yeah.
So their first product, we will come back to the bags. But
yeah, sure.
I'll show you this because this is their 3rd generation of capture clip.
Yes, I was really dubious about this when I first saw it.
Yeah, you think, what is that? So I've been using this for a couple of years now, and it's changed how I take pictures. And it goes back to the saying.
I'm going to hold it up
so
they can see it, because we've got quite a wide lens on today, so you can just about. It's very bright, isn't it? There we go. So it looks like that.
Yeah.
For those of you, because I noticed in the comments, there's actually quite a lot of people who say they have the straps and stuff. I'm going to read your comments in just a minute, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a very solid little piece of metal.
It's solid. In fact, that's all metal. There's no plastic in that.
Yeah.
Again, it has the lifetime warranty. And I say that's the third generation of capture clip. So I guess they started back in 2011, and Pete was on a round the world trip. I think he had left college and was did a gap year, and he found himself using his camera, but he was wrapping the strap around his wrist.
Yes.
I know a lot of us are guilty of it. I certainly am.
Yeah.
And I think he was on the back of a motorbike in Vietnam or somewhere, and he suddenly thought, well, there must be a better solution for me to keep my camera secure and on me without having to wrap my strap around my wrist.
Yeah.
And he came back, and I think he had a bit of a loan from his parents to start the idea of capture clip.
Yes.
So the first generation was actually quite a bit bigger. It was heavier.
Yeah.
And it's over the years they've adapted it and changed it, and this is the third generation. So
you've got, this is the bit that goes on.
Yeah.
Whatever. So goes on anything really, doesn't it?
So the idea is, I should explain, because at the moment it's just a piece of metal.
Right now it's a piece of metal. It's very shiny and looks very pretty. But yeah, what does it do? So you've got one there.
I've got one on my camera strap here. Now, the idea with capture clip is that it's to keep your camera secure but accessible. So the capture clip will attach to any camera strap. It doesn't have to be a Peak Design one, although we would like it to be.
Nice if it is.
But it can also attach to a belt or a waist belt. Some of these bags, you can add like a waist belt as well, and it can attach to that. Now, all version 2 bags actually have a port or a point at which you can attach the capture clip.
Right.
So the idea is, once you've bought one, it comes with a square plate. In fact, we've got one on the base of my camera here.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that James is a Nikon user and has brought
genuinely.
an F3 along.
F3.
That was the criteria for coming today.
Wasn't allowed in. So the capture clip clearly, keeps. Imagine this was on your shoulder.
I'm like really scared, but it's very solid.
It's very secure.
Yeah.
There is, in fact, there's a safety lock. We can turn the pin there 90 degrees to lock it in place. So if you're jumping up and down or something, you can make sure 100% that it's not going anywhere.
If you're in a mosh pit.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I've not found myself in a mosh pit with my F3T.
No, it's true.
So it's available in black and silver. So we've got the silver one here.
Yeah.
It comes with the plate and also an Allen key to tighten the plate to the base of your camera. Mm-hmm. And there's a number of accessories available as well. So
there's accessories for this. For this. Wow.
Yeah. So perhaps if you've got an action camera and you want to attach that to your backpack, there's an action camera accessory. There's a binocular accessory as well.
Oh, wow.
And there's also what they call a Pro Pad, which is a little, how to explain it? It's a little pad, I guess, that you would sit behind your belt. So if you wanted your camera on your belt, and perhaps you're carrying a 70-200 or 24-70,
right.
People do.
Yeah.
And it's quite possible to do that with the Pro Pad because it sort of expands the area of where the weight is on your belt, so it makes it more comfortable.
Yeah.
So
stops your trousers from falling down.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Very important when you're on a shoot.
Definitely one to consider. I like capture. Genuinely, I've been using it now for about 3 years, and it comes back to the saying, the best camera is the one that you've got with you. And with capture, it makes it easier. It's more accessible.
To just have it with you.
No matter how big or small your camera is. So yeah, definitely worth considering.
That's very cool.
Yeah, again, but keen to know if viewers are using it, or perhaps there's other versions out there from different companies. Then what are the pros and cons from the other ones? Be keen to hear.
Yeah, I will tell you. In fact, I haven't seen so many of the capture clips. There are a couple of people saying that they've seen. Chris Stublu posted a video with Con and I a couple of days ago, I think.
Okay.
So a few people have spotted that. So thank you for watching that. If you caught that, go and check out Chris's YouTube channel. If you I don't know if he's joining us today. He's a very busy man.
Okay.
But anyway, please do check that out. It's a good laugh, is what it is. Now, interesting. So Steve said, anybody use the PD capture clip on a backpack shoulder strap? I find it uncomfortable. Works great on the outside of the messenger bag, though. So how do you find it on the backpack? Does it depend on where you position it, do you think?
It does, yeah. And I would say the bags are very good because they have like an axial port at the back. So first of all, the straps on the Peak Design bags, they've got this little rivet in here. So they will first pivot and obviously be quite ergonomic depending on your body shape and size.
Yeah.
For the capture clip, we recommend putting it on this final sort of section at the back, on the bottom here.
Right. So that it's not like up
so
here.
It's not that up here.
Right.
We would suggest, I mean, if your bag's fully packed out as well, when the bag's on your back, you want to be pulling these tight. So it sits close to your back and reduces any strain. And there's also a sternum strap that these come with. That's also important if your bag's quite heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
But with the capture clip, one thing I would say is the version 3 is a lot smaller. It's a lot lighter than the previous version.
Right.
So it's far less intrusive than the earlier models.
So it could be also, I don't know which version you've tried, Steve.
Yeah.
I've gone way back in the comments because I have to say, John said that he broke his camera bag at the weekend. Now, his camera bag is his wife. She carries everything for him, bless her. And he said, fix that with chocolate, cake and champagne. And now she's talking to me. But it might answer your later question, John, on camera bags that are comfortable for ladies to wear, because I often find, I do not wear cross body bags or anything. I find them super uncomfortable. And also, just the amount of weight on my shoulders. I have now a permanent left shoulder injury. So backpacks for me all the way. But in terms of the way that they fit.
How it fits and adjusts to your body is quite important.
All very, very important.
Definitely.
And some particularly ones that have sort of like very thick or wide backpack straps that are too wide almost and too padded, I find ridiculous.
It's a very personal thing, isn't it? It pays to, if you can, try it and see it and try your kit in it if you can. Obviously, in COVID times, it's a little bit difficult.
It is harder. We are going to, so we've got the everyday on the website now in black, and once the stream's over, I'll be able to do some other things. And then we'll be uploading some of the other products on there so that you can sort of order them remotely, but we'll try and keep a small range in the shop as well. So if you are coming in, let us know if there's something you particularly want to look at. I'd be interested to know. So anyone who's putting Peak Design in the live chat, you just need to put it in the comments below the video, because that's where I'm going to draw the prizes from when we've done it. That's just the way that the winner, pick a winner website thing works. So David says, I've been using PD slides for years. My personal favorite is the new olive green. I think you've got a few colours. There we go.
There's a slide in olive green.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Magic.
It's generally my favourite colour as well.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I really like it.
It's nice because the colours are quite understated as well. They're not sort of like in your face.
No, that's right. So
which is good.
For a long time, Peak have had a range of straps. They've had the slide, the slide light.
Which one's this one?
That's a slide as well.
That's the slide. So this is the one I've been using, which is the light grey.
That's right.
Because I like it. I like it in that colour.
So the slide is the thickest strap that they do.
Right.
It's also got the sort of padded bit.
Yeah.
So you go around your neck. And it's also got the rubber on the inside as well.
So you wear, I actually asked Constantine this question when we were at the Big Cat Sanctuary. We were carrying massive lenses. I mean, we had a 180 to 400 and a 120 to 300. So these things, you don't have them dangling off your camera. No. But I said, which does the rubber go that way? So is that just, that's like an anti-slip kind of
That is,
thing?
yeah. So it can be worn either way.
I'm going to show it.
So some people would perhaps not to have the rubber.
Yeah.
Some people would. So you can turn it inside or outside.
Yeah, because my logic was, I want to be able to slide it.
Yeah.
And therefore, I had it with the rubber facing outwards. And you said you're wearing it the wrong way round.
There's no wrong or right way.
Oh, good. I feel vindicated.
It's personal preference, I think. But
okay, good.
The good thing about the slide and the slide light, they have their own sort of metal hardware here.
Yeah.
And what this does is this enables you to adjust the length of the strap very quickly and very easily.
Super quickly, I noticed. Yeah, because that's one thing I did a lot of.
You could go from having it just around your neck to maybe going across body. Obviously, I don't have a camera on here.
No, sure.
Right at the moment, but we can pull that down. And, you get the idea. You can adjust the length pretty quickly.
Very, very fast, as opposed to sort of pulling a bit out and then moving it down. Yeah, that's one thing that's always been a little bit of a downside to the straps that you get with your camera. It's always nice to have a camera strap that says Nikon in bright yellow on it, but at the same time, it's not very discreet.
It's not, no. And if we go back to the anchor links again, I'll just put this on my camera to just show you how quick and easy it is to loop that through.
Yeah.
So that's on there now. So we've got one on each lug. And I'll just show you how quickly it is to actually...
Live demonstration.
Yeah. So there you go.
Just like that.
The strap is on the camera.
Oh, you did it much faster than I did. As well.
Bit of practice, you can get pretty quick. So I think, especially if you've got 2 or 3 cameras or more cameras, you can buy these anchor links separately. You can put them on your cameras.
Yes.
And then you can go from taking your strap off or putting it on another camera very quickly and very easy.
Yeah. So if, for example, in my case, I quite often will use a hand strap or a wrist strap, which would be the cuff in this case, which I've not yet tried, but I will. To a neck strap, depending on what I'm doing. So you don't have to fiddle about taking the strap off. You're literally just switching.
You're literally switching from one thing to the other.
That's very cool.
So recently they brought out some black discs. So up until now they've always been red, but now we have some plain black ones. If you want to be a little bit more discreet.
Yeah, sure.
But these will literally attach to any camera. So I mean, most cameras obviously have the little triangle lugs that you can pass them through.
Yes, but if not, then you can get obviously just any kind of split rings, I suppose, that will work with it. Now, Klaus Herman, I beg your pardon, says, all items from PD are awesome. I use plenty, especially the bags, straps, and that fantastic tripod. We will get to the tripod.
Yeah, definitely.
Con was very enthusiastic about the tripod to a point where he has not brought it back yet. So James has had to bring another one in. He's off taking pictures with it. That's what he's doing. Obed said, love these straps. Bought one for my V3 the other day. V3 is a camera we don't see often.
Okay.
It's a Nikon 1 camera.
It's
the Nikon 1 system. It's a lovely little, it was the mirrorless camera that predated the Z system, basically.
Wow, yeah, I know.
So that's a nice little light one. And then Michael uses the cuff and the slide in ash. And so I was trying to find people that weren't using Peak Design, but there's a lot of people who are. Joseph has very kindly said that he has the slide, so it doesn't need to win the leash, but is happy for someone else.
You can never have too many straps.
It's true.
It's like bags.
Now, Brian uses a low pro for the flip design, which means you don't get wet, muddy back after putting the bag down. That's interesting because I'm less familiar with the current range of low pro stuff now. But yeah, not having mud on your back after you've put your bag on the floor is helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
As you know, I'm a Billingham user primarily. I've got a couple of think tank bags. But I'll use anything that's useful, really. Anything that I find is the right shape and size. And backpacks are my obsession. Michael Hongkomp says, love my 3-litre everyday sling.
Yeah, great.
I haven't seen that one in the flesh.
3-litre sling's a great bag. Very, compact, designed for mirrorless.
Yeah.
Or smaller SLR or mirrorless cameras.
So 3-litre must be quite little then, is it?
3-litre is, I've got a 6-litre.
Yeah, okay.
Which is this one here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how cute.
So 3-litre is, obviously 3 litres less.
Yeah.
But the design of the slings is obviously to go across body and to give people quick access. It's kind of like I guess like a clamshell sort of design to give you space inside. Yeah. We've got those flex fold dividers that I talked about earlier. Which gives
so you can make little pockets out of them.
And you can remove them completely or fold them over to create more space for perhaps smaller lenses.
Love it. You've got another Nikon in there.
I think it's my FE.
It's like what's going on?
They keep appearing.
Amazing.
But the sling bags are great.
Yeah.
So they come in 3-litre, 6-litre and 10-litre.
Right.
The 10-litre, you'll be surprised, but you can fit a lot of kit in there.
So Michael uses his 3-litre and an everyday backpack, the 20, and a waist strap and a slide. You're a Peak Design fan.
Fantastic.
Obviously, it works for him.
Genuinely, And when people buy a Peak product, they often go on to buy something else from Peak. So
it seems to be the way.
It's great to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. David, who's Dixon, I know we're on like first name terms with most of our viewers, said, I'm not clear why Peak Design charge extra for the waist belt on the 30-litre version too, because it seems like a necessity. Yeah,
potentially. I mean, well, they don't. They used to include it with their version 1 bags,
I see.
And they made the decision to not include it with their version 2, 20 and 30-litre.
Right.
I think there's an argument perhaps that if you didn't want it, and you're getting it,
you're paying extra.
Extra for it,
right?
It is an optional extra. So, of course, that's just the way it is. I'm afraid.
Yeah. But that's fair enough. It's a good explanation. Just have to say thank you to Jeremy, and I can't see that comment because there's a pinned comment in my way. Who was that? Someone contributed to the coffee fund that I can't see. Hang on, let me find out who it was. I didn't do a plug for the coffee fund. But Brian, thank you, Brian. Thank you also to Jeremy for your contributions to the coffee fund. I will buy James a coffee at the end of this. Do you drink coffee, actually? Okay, good. You never know, some people don't. Yes, the coffee fund it does exist. We are doing it today. You can click the super chat link. It's the $ down here below me, or if you're not watching live, then we've also got the PayPal me link in the description box. But it's all very, very much appreciated. I've had a couple of people message me on Instagram and say, I can't get to the shop. I'm technologically unable to give you a coffee fund, so I'll buy you a coffee at Photo London or something like that.
Fantastic.
So you know who you are. I'm waiting.
Great.
But yes, very much appreciated. So thank you for that. I'm interested. Blue Serpent Media says, ooh, green, blue terracotta and black. What's that? I have blue terracotta. Is it called blue?
I think that was a limited edition. Yeah.
Ooh,
so
fancy.
Occasionally Peak will bring out a couple of straps, and there'll be a very limited run of particular colours. So I think if you've got one, that's great. I think
the blue. I don't have anything in blue here. Did you bring one?
I did.
Of the...
So was I? Well, I've got a blue
something because I'm thinking. And Blue Serpent Media. You don't have to go on Amazon later on today. You can go to the Grays of Westminster website later on today. Just give me some time.
I've got one of their blue straps. This is a leash. Maybe we can open this up. And
just have a little look at the colourway, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
It would be quite cool to show what it looks like out of the package. But I like the colours because they're quite also earthy colours. They're
not too obscene.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Now, it might not be that you can you not post the comments until after the stream below the video? Because okay. Fair enough. So hold your horses. You can enter the competition as soon as I finished streaming, which will be in like half an hour. So then you can enter the competition. Don't worry.
There we go.
Let's just see. I'm just having a look at what other people have. Ian's got a Peak Design slide to carry his D500 and 200 to 500.
Wow, yeah.
That's impressive. Do support that from the lens, just so you don't end up with a bent apron, because we do get that sometimes, Ian. Just a word of warning. And so many people using the anchors and the cuffs. So this was good. This was
fantastic.
Good that you came along.
It was really good to see.
To see, exactly.
I've got the... And probably the light doesn't do it much justice.
You can see the colour. You can kind of see the colour,
sort of see. So this is their midnight blue.
Like a grey.
Yeah. So they very recently launched these. It was only, for middle of June, July sort of time.
Very new.
So until now, we've only had ash and black in their straps. So now we have the midnight blue and the sage colour that I showed you a little bit earlier. And I really like them. Like you say, they're not too bright and colourful. They're quite earthy colours, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like a bit of a Grays of Westminster blue almost there.
Almost.
Might be quite a popular colour for us.
Yeah.
So I know that if it was my choice of what we stock entirely, which it almost is, to be honest. So if you want something, speak to me. But blue would be my colour of choice for most things. And they do bags in blue in some.
They do, yeah.
Do they do in all the sizes in blue?
No.
Okay.
No. So there's certain colours, certain sizes, but so the 20 litre that we looked at earlier, this is available in midnight blue.
Oh right, yeah.
And the 30 litre is as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a lovely colour. It's nice dark blue, similar to the strap then. So yeah, and the slings and the what else? Yeah, 3/6. I'd need to double check actually.
Yeah,
there's one or two of the slings which are available.
That are also available blue. So if you're like me, your favorite color is blue, then then that's for you. Also, now it's interesting. I like the camera straps in the 70s that look like guitar straps. Actually, I know quite a few people who buy guitar straps and put them on their cameras, or like you bought a guitar strap for Tini and put it on your handbag, didn't you? They're very designer savvy. It's interesting. I quite like plain straps, if you know what I mean. Just if I had a really funky old film camera, my FM3A is a bit too precious to put anything a bit jazzy on there. But then I'd probably put a patterned strap on it. Dixon said I had a burnt orange version 1 strap. Did they do a special edition?
Yeah, they did. Burnt orange. Yeah. No longer available, unfortunately. But that's a funky colour.
Limited edition. Got there. And there's all kinds of extra bits. So I was wondering if you... Oh, and thank you to Ian. Sorry, I missed your contribution to the coffee fund. Thank you so much for that. Jeremy said, my Nikon Messenger bag proved ideal for the Z6 II with a couple of Z lenses for simple walkabouts. Now, Nikon actually did, when I was like first working here for the first couple of years, we were able to get leather bags from Nikon Japan. And our lovely sort of, I would say he was our second hand in charge, but he also went to Japan quite a lot. He used to bring them over. Tony, some of you might remember Tony if you've been to the shop in the last sort of 10, 15 years. And they were beautiful, like Nikon imprinted in leather, black leather, very simple, not necessarily practical for lots of things, but they had that very simple design that I liked. But Jeremy, I'm not sure which one you've got. You might have not the leather one, but one of the more recent ones that they have. They're quite small in comparison. So this one, I'm just wondering. No, I don't have a smaller one. There is a smaller version
of this one.
Yeah.
So we have. So this is the 20 litre.
Yeah.
They also do a 15 litre zip bag.
Right.
So the zip series there's 2 sizes, a 20 and 15, and they go without the mag latch. So instead of that, they have a zip. Unfortunately, I don't have one with me today.
No, sure.
The zip sort of goes all the way round.
Yeah.
And they sit underneath. They're a bit of a lower price point than the everyday mag latch that we've got here. But yeah, 2 different sizes, multiple colours, available in blue.
Yeah.
They're a nice bag. They have the flex fold dividers in them. They share a lot of features that the mag latch bag has. There's actually, I've just remembered, there's a few things on here that make this sort of stand out from the competition. Sorry, we're getting everything out.
It's totally fine. We're just making it's very busy desk here.
So first of all, on the back of the everyday backpack, we've got, and this is new to version 2, but they've put magnets in the back here. So if you're carrying your bag, and they've made a point of making 3 carry points, so you've got 3 straps.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
So you can literally grab it from any angle.
If your bag's in your car and you need to grab it, chances are there's a handle pointing your way.
Yeah.
But if you're travelling, which I know a lot, we haven't really been travelling much at all, but
Sadly
we're getting back there.
Yeah, slowly.
We do have a pass-through on the back, so we can piggyback onto the back of a suitcase.
Oh, right.
But with that, we've also got the magnets there to stop your straps from laying around all over the place.
Yes.
So, just as we hold it up, it's quite a clean, sort of sharp-looking silhouette, isn't it? I think it looks good.
It's very smart.
Pleasing.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's also practical. I mean, I spent so long looking for a backpack that I both liked from an aesthetic viewpoint that would also
do a good job at carrying your kit. Yeah.
Exactly, and that was always the tricky one. So I always ended up buying, handbags that were a bit bigger, that could then fit like a holster or something in. But these are much smarter. Sarfaraz asked an interesting question. Said, curious, do people use both messenger and backpacks, and why do you use both?
I do. Yeah,
you use both?
Yeah. So I've got a Peak Messenger. I've also got another brand of Messenger, which I won't go into detail with.
I won't mention today.
But I guess the Messenger's great, but I wouldn't want to carry too much kit in it. And that's just personal preference.
Yeah.
But you could, the Peak Messenger, you could fit a Pro body in there with a 70 to 200 and a 24-70.
Wow, that's a big Messenger.
But that's a lot of weight on one shoulder.
It is.
And personally, it'd be too much. So that's when I would use the backpack if I'm carrying heavier kit.
Yeah.
I like the Messenger because it's quick and easy to access, and your gear's just, again, accessible, really accessible.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, it's a really neat. We've got one down here. I think I've got a Messenger, which is lovely looking bag. Again, clean sort of looking silhouette, but yeah, it's personal preference at the end of the day. But I would switch between two depending on how much kit that I'm putting in there.
Yeah, I mean, Roy says messenger bags for working fast, like you said, backpacks for landscape, etc.
Yeah.
Jeremy said backpack for serious photo trips, and a messenger bag for walks and traveling light.
Sure.
I have to say, I personally have a very small messenger. I mean, it's basically a holster, really, more than anything. It holds a body and two lenses, and I will take that if I'm doing like a little walk or excursion. I won't take it, but if I'm going anywhere more than for an hour, I will always take a backpack, just because I just prefer not to put weight on one side. Although it takes longer to access stuff, which it doesn't with this
I mean, with
system,
this,
ironically.
With the sort of side opening, you can sort of sling this round onto one shoulder and almost have the bag sort of still on you, but still access it to pull your camera out. So you've got that sort of sling ability to open it up and pull your gear out pretty quickly if you need to with these. The same with the zip version as well. So,
Now, Nick Ken asks a good question and says, "Our Peak design, are any of the bags designed to carry something like a 400 mil or larger? Because we do obviously have massive lenses. So what would you suggest for a long lens like that?"
For a long lens like that, we have the 45 litre travel line. So the travel line series, basically bigger bags.
Yes.
And they work a little bit differently. So whereas with the everyday series, you're opening your bag and your kit's quite accessible. The travel line series, you're traveling with your gear. And you would be able to fit longer primes, longer zoom lenses in that. But the way they work is they have what we call camera cubes. So a 45 litre travel line backpack has space. Essentially, it's got 3 units of space. And what we do is if you were to buy a 45 litre backpack, you would then buy a camera cube to go in it.
Right, okay.
So the camera cube comes in 3 sizes, small, medium and large. Large obviously taking up 3 cubes of space, which is when you could fit the longer lenses in.
Right, so you're measuring in cubes in terms of how big something... Okay, fair enough.
So, if you're using longer gear, longer lenses, then you'd want the large cube, and your whole backpack would be taken up by that camera cube.
Right.
If you're using a medium, you're only using 2 units or 2 cubes, or a small is obviously just a single unit. So the idea there is if you're traveling and you want to take your clothes, your gear with you, your other bits, then you've also got space for
stuff other than cameras. Why would you travel with clothes? I mean, who needs those? Okay.
So we do have a solution. And we've got duffel bags as well, which again, I guess more designed if you're traveling, but they do a 65 litre duffel backpack.
Crikey.
Which is huge.
Yes, that's massive. That's very interesting. Michael says that he uses a think tank retrospective 5 and 10 for urban use, a turnstile 20. Had one of those actually once for bike rides, and then an airport essentials when traveling abroad. I have an airport essentials, and the thing that I like, and I suppose Peak probably have a similar system, is that you know what is going to be carry-on size because they do. The travel range is for, either carry-on or in the hold, and they specify. Yeah. Personally, I would never put my camera equipment in the hold, ever. But that's very difficult if you're doing certain flights. I don't think you can get away with that.
Maybe, I mean, then you get into sort of hard case territory if you're traveling and you want to, not by Peak, unfortunately, but there's other brands of, very hard plastic cases which you could use.
Yes,
in the hold, but
it's true. But I'd always be a little bit fearful that it would get kicked around a bit.
Yeah, there's always that.
Photo Enthusiastic says, just make sure the bag is closed before swinging it onto your back again. Yeah,
that's true.
I think that applies with any camera back at all. Absolutely. Now, anything that you haven't been able to bring along, we're going to show some other stuff, but anything that you haven't been able to bring along, we will put the Peak Design link, so you can actually go to the website if you want to have a look at specs and you know, the cubes and stuff like that. You can have a look at the website there. But as I say, we will be adding a lot of products to the website once the stream is over, once I've had a chance to do that. I also have to say a massive thank you to Leah Carter for your contribution to the Coffee Fund, and to David Dixon, who said caffeine is not the best accessory for long lenses. This is true. Not if it gives you the jitters. I'm steady as a rock after an afternoon coffee, so no problem there. VR is also very helpful.
As long as you've got that VR.
And David Alden-Webb for your contributions to the Coffee Fund, who also said enjoyed your guest appearance in Utah. We were there by hologram.
Okay.
You can watch that after. And thank you to Jody also for your and thank you for making it live as well today. That's great. Thank you very, very much. So let's talk a little bit about the tripod.
Yeah, let's touch on the tripod.
Because it's a very exciting product, actually. I'm not a big tripod fan, I have to say. 9 times out of 10 will try and go out without a tripod.
Yeah.
And Con and I have noticed the more locations that we go to shoot, the more they look at you funny if you bring a tripod. But they're okay if you're just carrying a massive camera.
Yeah.
But as soon as you bring out the tripod, it's like, oh, no.
Hold up.
What is that?
Hold up.
So this, believe it or not, I'm just going to see what you... Because that's a tripod.
So we've got the travel tripod wrapped up in here.
Yeah.
So this came out, about 18 months ago?
Is it as long as that?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. It was backed on Kickstarter. Like we mentioned earlier about Peak using Kickstarter to drum up interest and fund a project. But this was, I think it was in excess of 5 years in the making.
Yeah.
They wanted to bring out a tripod. They wanted to make it distinctively Peak design. It had to be different. I think they've done a really good job at making a tripod that is far different from any other that's on the market today.
For sure.
So the design sort of brief, if you like, was they wanted to make a tripod to take up as little space as possible.
Yeah.
But it had to be a full-size tripod and take up a space in a bag no more really than a 2-litre water bottle. That was the sort of design brief. They wanted it to make sure it could go in
a Volvic or Highland Spring or something like that, then it's nice, isn't it?
It actually encompasses the head in this as well. So
which is amazing.
It's pretty neat. It really is. Obviously, I won't fully extend it here.
I don't have enough space in camera for that, but let me move my...
But the tripod, there we go. So where to start?
Yeah. Start from the top. We have the head.
So we've got an inbuilt head. First of all, it's available in carbon fibre or aluminium.
Right. There's a price difference and a weight difference there, obviously.
There is, yeah. So the weight difference, I actually got it here. So the carbon fibre weighs 1.27 kilograms.
Right.
The aluminium weighs 1.56 kilograms.
Okay.
But they will still support 9 kilograms in total.
Okay.
Okay, so it's pretty substantial for most people's uses.
Yeah.
And obviously the head itself is inbuilt, so we can undo this here and lift it up. Let's lock that back in place.
Yeah.
So we've got a single action ball head. So we can pan, we can tilt it.
Yeah.
We can do portrait as well. Some people think that you can't do portrait, but you can.
That was one thing that Con was saying to me. He was saying, why can I not shoot portrait? Is it just that he has to turn it in a specific angle?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So they've spent a lot of time designing the head and obviously taking up as little space as possible when it's flush with the rest of the legs. But there is only... You can do portrait, but it has to go in a certain direction.
Constantine, I hope you're watching.
So you can do it. So this comes with... The tripods come with the same base plate that we saw on the capture clip.
Right.
Okay, so you can go... And I really like this because you can go from having your camera on your capture clip, open your tripod, and it clips into place. Make sure it's unlocked. It clips into place pretty quickly. Okay. And from there we can undo the dial and we can move it around, frame our shot, and away we go. And
so the weight being 9 kilos is like the maximum load, if you like. Obviously, you have to check in your weight distribution and stuff. But that is probably the equivalent of I'm just trying to think, like a D6 and a 70 to 200. Or a D850 and a 200 to 500, that kind of weight. I mean, I'm trying to like rounding them up a little bit, but those are heavy duty.
They are,
kits that you would put on there. And it has how many extensions? Because there's kind of almost like transformer looking.
Or
five in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Yeah.
So the legs are actually removable.
Yeah.
And there's a number of accessories people can buy to expand the use of the tripod. You can actually take the legs out, and we sell a universal, an ultralight conversion kit.
Right.
So what that is basically it's feet to enable you to use the tripod without extending it. So you could use it as like a tabletop tripod, as what we've got here.
Yeah.
We found a lot of people buying the tripod to use it, especially over the past year, for Zoom calls if they're setting up, their mirrorless camera for
do a lot of that
webcams.
these days. Yeah.
We've got spiked feet as an optional extra as well. If you're shooting out in rough terrain and you want that extra grip, then spiked feet you can use.
Yeah.
We've got a universal head adapter as well, so you're not restricted to using the Peak Design head. You could use a third-party head from another manufacturer if you wanted to.
So that kind of answers Rory's question, because Rory said, is the plate not Arca Swiss and the head?
Actually, the plate is Arca Swiss.
Right.
So although we've got 2 pins on the top,
of the head,
we've got 2 pins up here.
Make sure you can see that.
Can you see that?
Yeah, they can,
So these are removable, and if you're using an L bracket or an Arca Swiss base plate, then that would go straight in there, no problem at all.
So you don't have to buy another head just for the pleasure, right?
No. So the capture clip, the plate that comes with a capture clip and the tripod is Arca Swiss compatible. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I mean, that's quite universal. It's one thing that always frustrates us a little bit about Nikon telephoto lenses is the feet are not Arca Swiss, and then you have to buy another foot. It's just like, why?
Yeah, it's not ideal. But
no, it's not. But you can buy extra plates from Peak, right?
You can indeed. Yeah, there's a number of accessories, and even if you're not using if you wanted to use the capture clip, but you wanted to use a third-party brand of tripod, then we do other plates for going from using your capture clip into your other brand of tripod.
So we've got quite a lot of three-legged thing users. And I also have a three-legged thing, Billy, and I know Sam has a three-legged thing. She was saying three-legged thing all the way, which are lovely tripods, and they're really nicely designed. But it's nice to know that you can switch from one, because I have my L plate on my Z6 like 90% of the time. So it's interesting to know that you can make them compatible.
Definitely,
the lightweight factor. I mean, this is the carbon fiber one, right?
That's right.
Yeah. It weighs, like, considering how compact and tiny it is, it doesn't really weigh anything considering how big it is. But the other thing that I really like is what's in here.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Again, this is a little feature people have been using, especially over the past year.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I had the family pub quiz when we first had that first lockdown, and I made use of this. So Peak Design, they've incorporated a mobile phone adapter.
Right.
So if you want to do a group photo, or I mean, phones are they've come on a lot the last couple of years, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of our more recent videos where we weren't allowed to take a big camera for videoing, we weren't allowed to take a tripod to film, so we had to use a handheld gimbal.
Right.
Was shot on an iPhone 12 Pro.
Right. Okay.
Because you can shoot in 4K now.
Yeah.
So there is definitely an advantage to that.
Definitely. So go straight on. Very quick, very easy. Put your phone in there.
Great.
Away you go. So.
Very, very cool. Ed would like to win a camera bag. Ed, I wish that was the giveaway. That would be very, very nice. So just for anyone who's joining us a little bit later, because you might be coming in at the end of the stream as opposed to at the beginning, if you wait for the stream to finish, then in the comments under the video, if you put Peak Design, all one word, as opposed to putting a space in it, as you should, any comment, as long as it says Peak Design, all one word, I will be able to draw from those entries next week, or when I get to draw the entries. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it next week, but being at Photo London is going to make things very interesting. So the phone holder is super handy, and there's a hook at the bottom. I guess you can add for stabilizing.
Yeah. You can hook. Obviously, the Peak Design bags have their handles.
Yeah.
You could certainly hook just to give you a little bit more stability there. out of the two, the carbon fibre just is a little bit more stable, a little bit more rigid.
Yeah.
But say both will take that 9 kilogram payload. So
nice.
Yeah.
Michael was saying that he's just bought a 3-legged thing, Albert. That is a great tripod if you're doing landscape or cine work, actually, because it's a very robust. I mean, I think the payload, it's about 20 kilos is what it takes.
Okay.
So yeah. Now, Roy asked, how tall is the tripod without the extending center column?
I've got so many figures in my head. I'll have to just refer.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I wouldn't expect you to know immediately off the top of your head.
So okay, let's have a look. So with the maximum height with the center column down is 130.2 centimeters.
130. Okay, so
51.25 inches.
Okay, so Roy, you've got both the imperial and the metric there. Hopefully that makes sense.
That helps.
Now, Nick said, I think I need a travel tripod, compact and light, as I try not to use tripods, but have to occasionally, and my existing ones are heavy and bulky. Is it time for a new one? I'll peek on the Grays website. They will be, Nick. Give me
very soon.
Give me about 25 minutes. Oh no, I need to go and have a coffee. So give me about half an hour, and I'll get there. But yeah, I mean, if you want something that's small and compact, and just if you want to collapse it back down into its carry bag, because that's kind of the beauty of the thing. When you brought that in a couple of weeks ago, I was like, what? This is a tripod?
I know.
So that's very impressive.
Pretty neat.
It is.
All the legs sort of tessellate together, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
Where it's no wasted space.
No,
look at that.
Exactly. Right? And you can get extra footwear if you're doing stuff in soft ground or something like that, or on the beach.
Don't forget.
Yes.
Lifetime warranty.
Yes.
So any Peak product, I know I mentioned it earlier, but lifetime warranty on the tripod as well, of course.
Yes.
There's also one or two things I'm just going to mention because it covers not just the tripod, but the straps, the clip, all Peak design products. So they have got a few accreditations, I guess is the word.
Sure.
For sustainability.
Right, yes, very important.
What's really important for Peak is when they design a product, they don't want it to go to waste afterwards or end up in landfill. So that's one of the reasons they offer the lifetime warranty. But they also are accredited by B Corp, which is a corporation which I guess ensures that any factory workers that Peak use are they getting fair pay, to create sustainable product and just to ensure that they're doing the right thing when they make things. Yeah. They're also carbon neutral.
Nice.
So they're making sure they measure how much carbon they use. They're reducing their carbon footprint by having far less, like traveling less, I guess.
Yeah.
And also they give 1% back to sustainable charities each year. So 1% of their total turnover goes to sustainable charities. And I think that's quite important because
I think it's super important. Particularly in this day and age, because it's, everybody wants to create some new innovative thing that will help people or change or make life easier or whatever, but you have to think of the whole bigger
definitely
picture.
There's a huge picture. Yeah, definitely. So it's no secret, but there's a new product coming out from Peak soon. It's a mobile phone case, and it's been on Kickstarter. I saw that, actually, yeah. And again, they've taken a long time to develop it to ensure that they're using the right materials. They want to be sustainable when it comes out. And I mean, sit tight because I'm sure that's probably not too far away now. But excellent. Someone, who was it? Robert said, "Does the tripod have a bubble level?" I did spot one on there. Yeah. Yeah. We've got one on the top, just here. Yeah. There we go. It's interesting. Dixon said the Peak Design tripod somehow raises less suspicions at border security at the airports. I think it's because it's so discreet and small, little. Yeah. Whereas if you carry a massive tripod, I had a situation where we went to a historical house. We weren't actually going to be using the tripod in the house, but I had it shoved in the side of my bag. Right. It's my 3-legged thing, and it's very orange. Okay. Because it has that copper design, and someone was like, excuse me, what's that? Go put it in the boot. And I thought, I wasn't even going to use it, and it's just there. But so the discretion is quite nice too, just from that viewpoint, because if you're not a photographer and you're someone that is looking to
protect a property or something like that. And we did a whole stream on photography etiquette last week.
Yeah.
You said you saw a bit.
I did. Yeah. I caught that.
Fun times. So it is important to abide by the rules, but also a lot of people don't understand what a photographer's trying to do, and it works both ways. It does, basically. So I'm so delighted that there are.
It's great to see so many people using Peak stuff, and seeing some of the comments from the viewers about their other bags and why they chose it. It's really interesting.
Absolutely, and very important. So Grays, obviously we align ourselves with brands that we like, that we use, that we believe in. So we're quite selective, and so that's a little testimony from us as to why we brought you in today, and also why we're looking at Peak products. So if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. We will try. I might field some to you.
Yeah, of course. No problem.
At a later stage, because there will be people that are watching this on sort of catch up. A little bit later. Now, if you want, as I say, if you are interested in any of the products that we don't have specs on, because I'm going to have to upload them on the website. There's only one of me, unfortunately. So I'll be doing it after the stream. But if there's anything that you want more information on, then you can have a look at the links in the description box. We've been talking for an hour.
It's gone quick, hasn't it?
It has.
I feel like I could talk for another hour.
You probably could. Well, we'll have to have you back when Con's here, and somehow expand the space a bit. But when there's some more products, because you say that they bring out products quite frequently.
Well, I think, we had the version 2 last year. We've had recently a field pouch. I didn't get a chance to show you, but there's little, every now and again, there's little bits that come out.
Excellent.
So obviously we've got the everyday phone case coming out soon.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to come back at some point, and I'm sure there'll be more things to show you.
Bring a few more Nikons with you.
Yeah, maybe.
We've got a few in the shop. We are going to be, so Grace is going to be at Photo London next week, and then not the week after, but kind of the week after, we've got the photography show.
Of course, yeah.
And you're going to be at the photography show.
I will be there, I'll be on the Peak Design stand, so if you're up there, come say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. And Con and I will be roaming around on Monday, so we will probably come and say hello as well.
I'll make sure I tether all the Peak tripods down if Con's coming. So.
I don't think you're getting that one back, to be honest. John, you're quite right. It's a Manfrotto. This is a Manfrotto Mini. This is something else that I don't know what it is. And we've got this giant car. Is it a Giottos? No, the head's a Giottos, but I think the Manfrotto legs.
055?
It was a Cine tripod that our director of photography brought and kind of gave to us. So we use it. It's not supposed to go anywhere, basically.
No, sure.
It's practically chained to the floor.
It's pretty solid.
And then sometimes I use the three-legged thing Docs, which is the sort of heavy tabletop tripod. But we've got everything here. John, we may see you at the NEC.
Yeah, see you there, John.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for all your amazing contributions to the Coffee Fund. I didn't get to say thank you to Michael or Randall, but thank you both for yours. I think it's coffee time now. And we are not doing a podcast next week, but we have a couple of videos in the works for you, and the stream is very much, we don't quite know how we're going to manage that yet. We may end up doing something like an Instagram live or something at Photo London, because at the moment trying to bring a whole streaming setup to the show is going to be quite tricky.
Good luck.
Well, thanks. We'll see what we can do. But if you're subscribed, then you'll know when we're going live and what we're doing. So please do subscribe if you haven't. Give us a like so that other people see this video. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. We will see you next week. Thank you to James for joining us. And we will see you next week. Bye.